Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews. Have you ever wondered what games you should sell or you should use? Find out here at Purge Reviews. Find out on our top 10 list what games you cannot miss. Don't forget to subscribe to Purge
Hi,
Reviews.
Hidden Identity Dice Espionage. It's a game for 2 to 5 players and it takes about 30 minutes to play, but it can play a lot quicker. So you're going to get a 2-player variant that will be played here. I don't recommend playing this game 2 players. And you'll get a rule book. Now this rule book is actually fairly good. I did have a tough time conceptualizing this game and I really needed to play around before I was able to get to it. I don't think that's a problem of the game as much as it was just me picking it up. You will have to make these little desks very easy. They just kind of bend and click in, very easy to make, but you will get enough of these to play 5-player. And I had to take one of these apart in order to be able to set the game up back in the box. So they just kind of scooch right in here. But I think it's going to be a lot of wear and tear to get that to fit in every single time. You will get a board where you'll be setting cards up each time. You really don't need this too much. Everybody will get a player board. Once again, this is just extra. You don't really need it, but they are nice plastic. You will get a number of cards, which I'll show you in the playthrough. And you will have a lot of custom dice that you'll be using in this draw bag. So you have a start player card that will just go to the start player. You also have a security card. This is using a 3-player game. When you play a 3-player game, the first player will get to take one of these, either army base, submarine, power plant, or satellite, and cover it up, and somebody just cannot go that round. And 4 or 5-player, you do not use it. Each player will have a setup of a desk. Now, nobody will be able to see behind this theoretically. You'll be placing dice on top, and you'll be placing dice here, and you have a place for your gadget, your rank cards, and your intel. Each player will randomly get 1 gadget card at the beginning of each turn. It will change, and I'll explain what these do in just a moment. What you'll be doing is battling for these rank cards. They're always worth 5,000. And these rank cards, if you get 5 of these at any point in the game, you actually win immediately. Otherwise, you play 3 rounds, and these have no value, and you will just be using the intel cards. Here are the intel cards you'll be getting. You'll see each one has a different value. When the round starts, you'll put 1 card under each area that you can go to, the satellite, the power plant, the submarine, and the army base. If you're going into round 2, and let's say none of these cards were taken, or let's just say the satellite was taken and won in the first round, nothing else, then you would put an additional card out, making these spots more and more valuable. So if the game was set up like this to start it out, whoever the first player is would take a dice, and you don't want any other player to see this, so you would keep this behind this on the board. And you can set this, if you can look at the top here, you can see that it has a satellite, a gun, which is a wild card, a submarine. So it has each of the 4 locations. So you're going to secretly pick one of the locations. You would never pick the gun because it doesn't match up with one of the locations. So let's say we put an army helmet here, a yellow army helmet. And we don't want anybody to know what color it is or what we put here. So we would put this down on our board, hidden from all the other players, signifying that we're going after the army base. We're going after this intel card. Nobody knows that we're doing that. And I'm going to move this out of the way and then focus on our player boards. So this is what a player board would look like. I have my gadget card known to everybody. Underneath here I have my yellow army dice that nobody knows that I have. On the first round, I would draw in the bag a number of dice equal to the players plus 1. So let's say I'm playing a 4-player game. I will draw 5 of these out and I will roll them. Now keep in mind, my dice will always be hidden here throughout the turn, but I'm going to showcase it just to kind of show you what happens here. So I have a yellow army dice. On my turn, I can take any one of these dice I want. I can take the blue gun. So say I take the blue gun. I have a yellow army under there. I can place the blue gun here on the outside. The powerful thing about putting on the outside is that I am telling them that the color and the icon is not what I have under that. Well, we know it's not a gun because a gun is a wild card and does not match up to the 4 locations I can go to. So by putting this out, I'm showing them that my dice is not blue. So it could be purple, yellow, or red, but it's not blue. So that's one action I could take. The second action I could take would be to take a card and place it on top. Now, if I place it on top, in this case, a blue army, I am telling everybody playing that this dice is either the color of my dice underneath or has the icon of the dice underneath, or both. In this case, I have a yellow army and this is a blue army. So I have 2 dice. So these dice would be taken. There'd be like 1 dice left over. On the next round, we would make sure there was enough dice for all the players. We would roll these, and I would get to choose another dice. So each round, you are choosing 1 dice in player order, and then you either place it here or I would place it up here. Now, the powerful thing about placing it up here is that when I place a dice here, I can try to assassinate somebody. That means I'm trying to guess what dice they have under their desk. Now, let's say you were going to try to assassinate this player. You know the dice is not blue. You know that it's not a gun. Well, that was obvious. We knew that when we started. But we know here that it's one of these things, blue or an army hat. Well, I know it's not blue, and that was kind of stupid for me to put a blue army hat here. So you know that there's an army hat under here. You've just deduced that. What you don't know is if it's yellow, red, or purple. So you might just take a guess. Is it a purple army hat? And if the answer is no, I would shake my head and say no. If it is yes, I would show it, and they would steal all of my rank cards. Remember, I only need 5. At the beginning of the game, I have none. So you can try to assassinate somebody. And when you assassinate, not only do I steal all of your rank cards, I gather 1 free rank card from the supply. Remember, you need 5 to win. At the end of the round, after I have 4 dice, let's say, so I have 2 down here and 2 up here, we will then reveal what our dice is. In this case, a yellow army. So that's when this board comes back in. If I was the only one that went to the army base, great. I just take this card and I move on. If 2 people had revealed they were going to the yellow army base, I would take all the dice that are on top of here. The one here, these do not count. They just go right back in the bag. But the ones that were placed on top, that actually gave them quite a bit of information, I would roll these, as would you, and whoever rolls the most guns gets to take the card. So you have a shootout. But you do have this gadget card that you're going to use once per turn. The gadget card, you can give it up during your turn, and you can change any of the dice's icons. That can be very powerful. Or, at the end of the turn, if I was going for an army, this would allow me to take 1 more random dice out of the bag. So I would be rolling 3 dice instead of 2. In this case, I rolled 2 guns. So the gadget cards are used once, and every round is going to be different, but it gives you the ability to do that. If you succeed, you get one of these rank cards. Remember, you need 5 to win. And I would take this intel card, and I would place the intel card here, and the rank card would go here. And those are worth money and victory points. So what you do is you play until somebody has 5 rank cards. If that doesn't happen, you play 3 rounds, and you only count up the intel. The rank cards do not count unless somebody gets 5. Otherwise, it's just the amount of money on the intel cards. So these can become very important, and they are not stolen when you assassinate. Only the rank cards are stolen. Hide. Hidden Identity Dice Espionage. This is a game I kind of bought on a whim. I like deduction. I like using logic and trying to figure things out, and this game does it. And I was kind of looking at the box. I didn't know anything about this game when I got it. What am I going to do with this? What is this? And I went back to the booth at Dice Tower Con 3 or 4 times looking at it. And I bought some other games from this company. And I was like, you know what? Just throw it on there. We'll see how it plays out, because it was really, really intriguing to me. I read the rule book, and I was just kind of like a head scratcher. I was like, what are we trying to do here? I really couldn't conceptualize it with the rules. That's not a fault of the rule book. I'm taking full blame for that. Sometimes I learn from reading rule books. That's how I learn. I learn from reading. I don't learn in the classroom with somebody talking to me. I don't learn by doing, which I can, but I really learn by reading. So when I can't figure something out by reading, I need to just kind of do it then. So that's what I had to do with this one. I had to get through a round. And then it all started clicking for me, and I enjoyed this game the most. I played it with a couple other people, and they didn't like it as much. Here's what I didn't like about it. It can be a little bit random, right? If I just happen to guess on the assassination what you are, yellow submarine. Well, I'm right. I had no clues. Well, you're out for the round. But that's okay, because this is like a party level game. A little bit heavier than a party game, but a party level game. And I'd even go so far as to say this is a party game for gamers. but it's not that complicated, so don't be scared off. You can definitely teach this to a wide variety of people, but not all people. So it has a little bit of that randomness in it. You're guessing at some point, you're deducing, you have some clues sometimes, but you also could just guess, right? And you could be right, and you're like, I was right. And that's a great moment for you. For the person that's sitting out the rest of the round, maybe not so good, but the round is fairly quick. And as the players get assassinated, there's less and less, the rounds go quicker and quicker, so that's good. But they didn't like that. One thing they didn't like about it is that you steal all of the rank cards. So in our last game that we played, I had 1 rank card. It was the 3rd round. One of the players had 4, and the other one had 0. And I was able to assassinate the player with 4. So they were one rank card away from winning. I assassinated her, taking her 4, thus having 5, and won the game. So even though I was severely behind, I was able to guess, possibly randomly, just yellow submarine for no reason. Blue army camp for no reason, and I just won the game on a random guess. It could totally happen, and it may have happened in this game, and that can be frustrating for some. But if you go in, you say, this is a party game, and we're just laughing and having a good time. We're not playing Twilight Imperium 3 for 6 hours that I randomly guess and win. It could happen, not that it will happen. And people who can differentiate that, if you're like, okay, I'm good with that happening sometimes, then so be it. I think you'll like this game, but it can happen in this game. There's some weird things like the rank cards have money on them, but money doesn't count into the game. That was kind of weird. The rank doesn't count, only the intel card, so why do they have money on them? That was a little bit confusing. I still don't know why. It could be for an expansion, it could be for a lot of other reasons, but I can't figure out why that was done. Comment below if you know. But what I did like about the game is that decision of deducing. You're like, I just told you what I had on accident by the dice that I had, and stupid me, I didn't think about this. So sometimes you can really look at the dice and think about, okay. If I put this yellow army up here, she knows I have yellow army, but I already told her it wasn't blue, and I've narrowed it down to 2 colors. Will she guess? Because when you're assassinating, okay, it's purple or blue. I know that by the dice that you put down. Now I'm just guessing. I have a 50% chance of getting the color right, if not the icon. So you're going to have to be okay with that. It's not one to be taken too seriously. This is a game where we're kind of putting these dice down, we're shooting each other, but there's wild swings in gameplay. Now, I don't mind it because I went in saying this is a party game, but you may or may not like that, okay? If you're going to take this game really seriously, I don't think you're going to like it. And I think it has even more luck than, say, an Avalon Resistance, but it could play in a shorter amount of time or maybe the same amount of time. So it's that style with dice. I have to say I do like this one. I do like the idea of somebody to assassinate me. I do like the idea of somebody taking the rank cards. I do like the idea that I could stink for the first 2 rounds and just win it on the 3rd round. I do like that because of the shortness of the game and kind of the mechanics of the game. So I'm going to recommend this one. Personally, I would keep this one and I would recommend it to you, and I would tell you to track this one down. I had a really good time as a party game. And I don't like party games, but I like this one. But I want to say this, because of what the other people at the table said and the problems they had with it, which I would normally have those problems in other games, but I was having so much fun, I didn't mind it here for some reason, that I would say maybe watch how this one's played and see if you're okay with those heavy swings. See if you're okay with dominating a game and somebody randomly choosing something and beating you. But you can also house rule that. You can say you take half my rank cards or one of my rank cards, and the game is still going to play. But I think the game wants it to end early. I think they want that. I just assassinated you, took everything you had from you, and now they want that big high five moment. And it's in this game, and you laugh about it. It doesn't really matter who won. You're having fun playing it. It's almost like, it's exactly like playing a party game. Who cares? You're just having a good time. And that's what I had with this one. But I know it's going to drive people crazy. I know they're going to be bothered with it. And for that reason, I have to take a step back and say, yes, I had a great time. It's a keeper for me. I want to insta tell you to go buy this one, but I better put the brakes on because some people didn't like it, and you're going to know if you liked it or not, if you can handle that or not. I usually can't. I liked it here. Absolute keeper for me. Hidden gem. This is one you should try out. This is probably one of my top 3 favorite party games. And I include the Resistance Avalon as a party game. I would include this as a party game. I really, really like it. I'm recommending it to you. Check it out. This is one that may go under the radar. Hide. Hidden Identity Dice Espionage. Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate you tuning in. If you liked it, please like it and hit that little subscribe button. That really helps out the channel, lets us know that you're getting the videos that you want. If you agreed or disagree with what I said, feel free to comment below. I'd love to hear what you have to say, and I promise that I will comment back. Thanks for watching, and everybody else, keep playing games.